Welcome back to Here and Now with Jay.
And tonight.
All right, what a great time to be alive, right?
Beautiful time to be alive.
We were just talking about something about being vulnerable, and I felt it held a lot of value. Do you mind running that back?
Sure. So, one of the things we were discussing was Jay was asking me about, being a little more active on social media and my whole experience with that. And I would say I'm kind of a shy person, and I'm really trying to change that and show more about myself, show more of myself. And I do feel like I have a lot of ideas and a lot to offer.
Sorry about that, guys.
He's so distracting. He's so cute.
I know, Brody's in the frame. We're trying to remain focused here, and he's trying to beg for our attention. But
one of the things about social media is you have to be really vulnerable to put yourself and share your life, and what you're doing on a daily, or sharing the people that you're with, and that's been a little difficult for me, even with our work here with Here and Now. I was just telling you hey, I know I haven't been promoting this as much on my personal brand. It's not that I don't want to or anything like that. It's that I'm kind of timid about it. Because it's we're opening up a Pandora's box here. I mean, we're getting pretty deep. We do share a lot of stories here with you guys, and it's it's a little hard for me, but I'm working on that. This year I'm really working on coming out of my shell, and how important that is to really be comfortable with yourself and show people who you are and what you're about. So thank you, Jay.
No.
And Jay, I have to say, Jay has really inspired me in that aspect. So I appreciate you and our friendship so much. Thank you.
You're doing a great job tonight. You really are. Like I told you today, I'm wow, look at your energy. Heart is all open, shoulders are relaxed. Every time I see you stand a little bit taller, being around you makes me stand a bit taller. And those are the type of people you need to surround yourself by. Seriously,
Absolutely.
100%. And it's vulnerability is so scary, right? It's allowing the whole world to read your freaking diary. You know what I mean? Or your journal. You know what I mean? It's some real intense stuff.
And you know what I've noticed is that when you are vulnerable with people, it opens that up for them. Some. But most of my experiences is when I allow that vulnerability with strangers or with close friends or even just a friend, it usually reflects on them. They'll go on and continue that vulnerability. They'll be oh, this person's being really vulnerable right now. It's genuine. People can sense that it's genuine, and they will open that with you. Therefore, you have a genuine connection. You're really building a true foundation for a connection, which is why not be vulnerable. It's scary though. Some people don't want to go there with you, and that's okay. That's okay. But I'm totally for being vulnerable.
Me too. And I think people respect you, right? When you are you know what, I have the courage to pretty much open my heart, and I too used to be super, I would say scared to be vulnerable, right? Because it's a scary thing. It's really letting somebody read your journal or your diary, and you're what, one of my favorite poets, he has a poem called "What Will the Neighbors Think?" And it's Charles Bukowski. But he says, what will the neighbors think, right? And it's well, I speak for myself. I would think oh my God, some people are gonna like this, some people aren't. What are they gonna think about me now? What are they gonna think about this and that? And then I was you know what? F that, okay? And I just started putting things out, right? But I listened to something today. I was on a video call, and this kind of really resonated with me, because I used to suffer with not putting content out because I was scared, because I was being super vulnerable, telling my story, and I was really scared. But I heard something today that I needed to hear, so I want to share it with you all. And she basically said that if you want to inspire 1 million people, you want to become a millionaire, energy, everything is energy, right? So money is energy as well, right? And she was basically saying, if you want to do these things and impact 1 million people, you yourself have to be a vessel who's able to hold a millionaire type of energy, right? You know what I mean? And so you have to align yourself with millionaire character traits, millionaire discipline, right? Like, show me a millionaire who sleeps in, who sleeps in after 8 o'clock. Show me one. Who's not a fortune baby from, their parents being rich or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? But really show me a true entrepreneur or someone who sleeps in afternoon or anything like that. Like, you have to have the discipline. You have to be able to hold that energy within yourself. And I found that to be very deep, and we spoke about that earlier, being ready to hold that amount of energy and like what it's going to take, the sacrifices.
It comes with responsibility, right, for sure, I think. And I've been talking to a few people who, have told me, like, be very specific with what you ask for. And also with that, do you have the responsibility? Are you ready? Do you withhold this energy of responsibility to bring that into your life? And I've in the past, I remember asking the universe for, a relationship, a type of relationship, and it granted it to me. And it was beautiful, but I don't feel that I was ready for the responsibility. I don't feel that I was withholding that responsibility that comes with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I was ready. But I feel like that's something that you do have to ask yourself. Am I responsible? Am I going to be responsible when this comes? Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Do you feel like you will? Because I mean, with being, influencing millions and millions of people, and it being like a high tier leader, which I sense that you do withhold, but like that's also going to bring money, which brings power, which you're going to have. That is something you have to ask yourself. There's people who say that with all of that money, it'll change you a little bit. Those are all things to ask ourselves.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and it's interesting because she actually brought up Mother Teresa. And speaking of the whole money thing, she said, would Mother Teresa have been as impactful as she was if she didn't have the money behind her to back it? She had the money, which made her able to do the things that she did and impact people the way that she did. But if she didn't have that, would she have been as impactful to people? Because like you said, with the money does come the power. And it's like, what are you doing with the power? Are you using it to better yourself and to better others and to help others, or what are you using with that power? And I think that too goes hand in hand with the responsibility, because it's your responsibility to use it wisely.
Right. And why do you want to be a millionaire? Like, do we ask ourselves that? I feel like, I want to be a millionaire. I feel like everyone deserves to be rich.
Do you feel like rich is a mindset though? Or
yes,
like,
for sure.
It's
a mindset.
Right.
I've met persons who materialistically are not wealthy, but there's something about their energy that's just like, it's rich, it's elegant, it's like, wow, you're wealthy and you have wealth.
Right.
There's depth, there's so it comes in many forms, I feel like. But I mean,
can I ask a question? It's awkward, but I know, I'm sorry. Because I'm deep into it. What can you guys tell the people out there that don't care to be a millionaire or care to have like money? They want to have stability and they just want to have wealth in their environment and the people that's around them.
You know what? That's a really, really good question, and I'm gonna take this on because I'm glad you asked that. Because, pardon me, with everything, I feel that you should always be trying to advance yourself and working on yourself, healing yourself, growing yourself. And with that comes that mindset switch and the discipline. So definitely work on your daily rituals, your habits, right? How are you spending your time? Like,
who are you spending your time with?
That's a good one. Show me your top 5 friends, the top 5 people you call, in your phone, and your income is probably within $5 to $1,000 of theirs. You know what I mean? Of what they're making, because you are the company you keep, right? So if you're surrounding yourself with millionaires, or at least people with that millionaire mindset, you'll be a millionaire. But if that's not your goal, if your goal is just to be comfortable or just to be secure, you still must work on your discipline and your habits and how you're spending your time, because we all have the same amount of time. But what we do with it is what makes the difference.
Right. And sometimes it doesn't even come down to time. It's really, do I have sufficient energy to fulfill what I need to do in the day? People often say, I didn't have time for this, I didn't have time. No, it's not that you didn't have time. It's that you didn't withhold that energy to produce what you had to, produce throughout the day. So it's really about energy, I feel like, for me, personally. Because once my energy's done, I'm not gonna do anything.
Right, yeah.
But if I've been up for 18 hours and my energy's just still going,
that's valid.
You can make time. You're making time.